Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, or simply information. So, those of you that have dealt with abusive relationships, maybe you're a light worker empath on the way to recovery, back into your zone and your purpose, but you've been dealing with a narcissistic personality disorder, which is classified under mental illness. Maybe they have a lot of addictions and done you wrong in all ways, shapes, or forms. Some people are asking, what exactly is a narc or a narcissist? Well, common theme is they're liars about everything, and they don't miss a beat about lying about everything, even the little things. And they are very consistent with their lying efforts and their manipulation. They collaborate with others to gang stalk you and go against you every which way they can. So it is very consistent, but they are inconsistent with who they are. They have lots of tactics, and they never really actually let you know what they're up to, who they're with, but they want to project that they do, right? If they're sharing locations, that's one phone, and maybe they have lots of vehicles parked in different areas. So maybe they park their phone with their vehicle that they're supposed to be at work with while they have lots of other fat phones. You ever watch What About Saul? Sold cell phones? Fun. COVID was great for those lots of movies that we watched, right? You never know who they are, who they're with, and they confuse you every second of every day. Because when you're confused, trying to figure things out or clean their shit show up, they're off doing more things with lots of crazy people. They're a chameleon, depending upon who they are and who they're spending time with. They take on others' personality and they want all of their dreams and hopes and accolades, even though they may have some of their own, as far as you know. It is mean, and they say things mean. They don't always say what they mean, but they always say things mean, unless they need something from you. Can you imagine living like that, face to face with somebody, looking them in the eye, but what they're saying doesn't match your intuition? Gut feeling and intuition is your radar. That's something you need to always keep intact. Keep it close to you. Yes, they are cheaters, whether you knew about it or you intuitively knew there was something going on. They have mysterious ways to cover things up. And women, we know we have radar, and a lot of the men will too. But in particular, if you ask questions about why they're doing certain things, it doesn't logically make sense. And if they were in the medical field like mine, they may put a few things in places that they shouldn't put those products in places, and you ask why. Well, it's because obviously you gave them something. Are you fucking kidding me? Is what I say. Literally, I think I did. Because clearly I'm monogamous and I play old school, and clearly they weren't. So when you have an appointment with somebody you trust, such as your OB, and you go just for shit's sake, checking it out, no, you know better. It's on record, right? Of course you have no problem, but they were the cheater, right? With many different people, with many different genders. And now you know. So you take pictures of what they're putting on themselves and you give it to your person, your provider, who you trust, and you ask the question to see their reaction. And they obviously tell you the same thing you already know. So you run all the tests just to satisfy your medical chart and yourself. And you bring it back. But all along, your person is like panicking because they know. They know what they did. So that's up to them, whether they share their diseases or not. And of course they do, because they don't care. So they also drain you of everything: your love, your money, your time, your sanity, your health, and your soul. If you have somebody that dabbles in the dark, dark occults you didn't know they knew anything about. They played dumb all along, and they laugh at you because of your spirituality. Well, you have faith in God, faith over fear. And I actually grew up Catholic, but doesn't mean I practice everything now. I learned a lot of different things because that too stemmed me when I got divorced. But it's a shit show living with narcissists that are addictive to everything addictions possible. They steal all your hopes and dreams, and of course your destiny if you have a great one. They try and steal your hobbies away from you, forbidding you to do anything, even shut the car fob off in the middle of the highway. So you either walk home or you just sit there with their vehicle because they sold yours. Maybe they steal everything from you. Of course, your bank accounts are stripped. Your identity, that's another thing. And they've told you that if you were on the sidewalk, left there cold freezing, they'd probably just run you over. And they've laughed at you. So these are evil people, narcissistic, they're cruel tyrants. They do everything possible to make you feel less than desired. And they specifically tell you that. They want to point out every flaw. They have zero empathy. They'll bend over backwards to help a stranger, neighbor, and sometimes it's so they can look good in the community, right? Maybe they purchase their nanny a car so they can get their kids to where they need to go. Maybe they actually were the ones to destroy their original car with their dark magic, voodoo, and witchcraft, just like you in your life. So nothing is their problem, it's always your problem. So a lot of these are childhood wounds that they suffered, abuse from their parents, family members, and whomever. And maybe they have a lot of crazy mental health in their family. They've told you that. And you can look that up, and it shows lots of different things that are not public, right? They don't talk about it until they talk about it. Maybe they were drunk and they said something. Or you're like me, you can feel it in their energy. And it definitely shows in their family and the dynamic of the crazy chaos, crazy. So, are they afraid to look less than in public? Yes, their image is important and they compartmentalize their emotions or if they have any at all. But they definitely hide their dirty secrets. They sell themselves out to the devils. The truth is hidden from everybody. And the truth, let's see, do they ever tell it? Well, their stories never add up. Each one of their friends or people they purchased to be their friends or material things they've given or bribes, there's always something. They make sure they are in places of higher management or whatever so that they have things that they can weigh in on to make whoever beneath them or feel beneath them. They accuse you of things that they do, but they buy people and persuade them to make sure they're certain you've done something you haven't. But does this sound like a bunch of crap? What a way to live. What I'm telling you, if you're shocked by this news, is I've suffered from all of this. They call us victims, but I will never be in victim mode, never stand up to this person ever again, nor should you. So why am I putting this out there? The blame game, the shame game, and all the corrupt systems that I've gone against because this evil person had money, at large money to throw down. And actually, it wasn't even his. He stole it from everybody, including myself and my children. So, even people that have crossed over already on my side, and probably his too. So, in a nutshell, don't suffer in silence. At the moment, you know these things are going on, get your affairs in order. God forbid you live with them. Make sure you put a storage in place and not move everything else in with them and just do a trial and error if you are suspicious, if you need to do that for your own satisfaction. If they are narcissistic people and you didn't know that, and when you live with them, you found out, run, run, and run. Get an ordered protection in place for as long as you can. And in some counties, it does say 50 years plus. If you've had the ability to show you and wave guns in your face, use scalpels to threaten and scare you, drugged you, and harmed you in every which way possible, tell the truth. I did. whether I wrote it down or not, and went to the county. And the sheriff's department didn't do anything except for give it to the other side to try and build a case against me because they said I was insane. Go figure. Bring it. You want to take any test? Bring it. Because actually, everything they say is what they are actually doing. They're capable of ruining your life. They'll make you think you can trust them, but they're evil. They're manipulative. Watch the movie Primal Fear with Roy and Richard Gere. Profoundly interesting, right? They'll have you watch movies, take you places, correlate music with something they say because they trauma bond you. But actually, they find out things you like and think you're so in sync with them. Have you been told you're a soulmate, something like that, and you think, wow, that's early on for saying shit like that? No, it's not real. It's not. They have no empathy. So learning from these things is important so you don't get trapped, you don't get stuck, and you move away from these pricks. That's what I call it. One of my dad's favorite words. So move away from them, get your order of protection in place for life. 50 years ought to do it. They'll do themselves in or somebody else. And that's the other thing. They have attorneys on the dark side. They're evil. Let them get away with this shit. And they have life insurance policies on you and themselves because they hope their torture or they're drugging you or whatever they're doing will take you out or you take yourself out. Maybe they've done that to themselves, pretend, or maybe they did. Narcs usually don't take themselves out, but when they know their death or when they're going away or they have a plan, they schedule it, right? Because they've texted you on their last day alive, even though you're not with them. Why is that? And then magically they go missing? Interesting, right? So over time, they don't change. It only gets worse. And if you're like me, you got a short-term order, you moved to a different county and got another order in place, and it pissed them off. They're doing things behind the scenes to harass you, gang stalk you, put shit in your vents, your air, your water, doing things to harm you, your family, your job, your children, your animals, everything. It's actually frightening. It's worse than fatal attraction or sleeping with the enemy. It's far worse. Your life will never be the same, no matter where you run, where you hide, where you move. They have people watching you everywhere, 24/7. But God has a plan for these special people, and karma will receive. You receive that. So, what I say to that is get yourself a good attorney who's well versed. It will help you and save your life. Make sure that order's in place for as long as it can be. Especially if they have weapons involved. Insist on it. And you can get these things in place and make sure you attach it to your family and friends. And yes, they ask for your address, but how are they going to protect you if you don't put it down? Even with orders in place, they do crazy things. Maybe not themselves, but they hire people to do so. They think you're unaware. But everywhere you go, people that come up to you and ask you questions about yourself, they're part of the program, and they eavesdrop on you all the time. Hijack your conversations, and if you have a platform like I do, they record everything and then take it. It becomes their own. They make money off it. Speaking of that, even if you have PayPal accounts, they hijack all those, and all your other accounts, they hack everything. Any email I receive, they've already read, whether it's in junk or they delete it. People that have told me that I've replied weird or funny in the middle of the night. Well, it wasn't me. Not at all. You can change your number. You can get a new email, and I would encourage you to do so. They still hack into it. I've done this. Get a new phone, new number, new emails, change everything over. Well, they hacked into it. Their IT specialists are busy working, right? 24/7, and then they learn that themselves. They learn how to do voiceovers and take all your notes on your phone. And matter of fact, your files, your private files that you have sacred, become somebody else's. And notice your junk mail. You'll be getting fancy emails from places that they think is gonna bother you. Well, actually, that's what they're doing. They wanna do whatever they're doing with strange, bizarre people, that's fine. Just block it, actually. Go in, right click and block it. It'll take all of them and block future emails from said person. They come up with many different emails and combination of their name or somebody else's. It's interesting what they come up with, and they get other people in professions that they are in to collaborate against you. So if this sounds bizarre, try my life. I've had a past person that's crazy bananas, narcissistic personality, multiple personalities, and they all came out. Addictions beyond. And then there's a strange is the same. They have so many lies that people buy into it. And they become dangerous. They want your life or they want to be you. It's crazy, right? So these people will go to jail, and I hope justice will be served sooner than later. And karma, that's the beauty. Karma times a zillion, 24 or 10. It will be every day. It'll be going down, served in ways they have no idea. So just keep it up and up. Don't seek revenge. It doesn't matter. Save yourself, get an order of protection, and protect your life and your children, your family and friends, your job if you wish. And if you have a platform, keep calling them out. All of us here are calling people out that have been unjust in these corrupt systems that let the perpetrator hurt us. Well, karma served back on them too. They took an oath and they should be following and honoring that God. Now, if they were in our shoes, they would be crying because they wouldn't be able to handle one fraction of what they put out. So karma's being served on a big scale. Justice is being served. Corrupt systems are going down. Those of us here to help heal are doing it. We're speaking out. But every day, somebody tries to hurt us. That's all right. We fly with the high mighty, and justice will be served. Karmic laws here on earth, spiritual laws, something else, until people learn. And that's how we ebb and flow and grow. So 24/7, 365, karma will be delivered back to these special people until they find their healing. And that's the whole point. They're supposed to heal. Hurt people that hurt people are unhealed people, right? Just remember to take care of you. And if you are in these situations, get an order of protection with a reputable attorney who knows. There's lots of people out there that are general, but this is very specific. And you should find somebody that can help you. It makes a difference, trust me, I know. So I hope this helps today. And take care of you. Your healing is self-care, and it's sacred. It is not selfish because your life matters. And so it is. Namaste.